Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Now, I was just sitting there and I thought, oh fuck, I've still not done a review / thoughts on the last story. Yes, this game now. Yeah, this was the last of the Operation Rainfall games that I had beaten. It came out in the middle in between Xenoblade and Pandora's Tower, but I actually left it to one side for a bit. I'll give a bit of backstory actually. I bought this game day one. Played it, had like 2 4-hour sittings of it, you know, played it for about a total of 8 hours. Absolutely fucking loved it. One of the best. I'd go as far as to say, based on that 8 hours, that it was my favourite of the Operation Rainfall trilogy, because it was so good. And yeah, because I was so stuck with uni work, I kind of said to myself, I'm going to savour this. I'm not going to worry about uni at the same time. I'm going to wait till I'm done, then I'm going to play it. Right. And of course, when that happened, Pandora's Tower came out, and I decided, fuck it, I'll play through that. Because that's kind of what this game did to me. It was one of those, has this ever happened to you guys? One of those really rare instances where you were loving a game so much, you wanted to savour it, almost to the point that you didn't actually want to play it because you were wanting to savour it so much. I don't know what it is, I get that. I got that sometimes back when I used to watch anime and other RPGs, you know, with like with storylines I was really engrossed to it. Got to the point where I don't really want to get emotionally involved because I know I'll like it too much. That's kind of what... Is there a name for that? Because this is what was happening to me. But, like a man, I put it in and I played it. So yeah. Right, so we'll start off like I usually do and go on about the story. Actually, no, that's not what I usually do. I get a little background on the game. Yeah, this was the second Operation Rainfall game, as you all know. It's made by Mistwalker. Mistwalker is the company which was founded by the creator of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi. Yeah, he's been left square for years now, went on to make his own company, has been making very good games. Hold on, actually. I have to do this at least once a video. Okay. Oh god, it's at the bottom of the pile as well. Come on. Oh Jesus, nearly tipped everything over. Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the 2 sort of main games that Mistwalker's put out is Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. These games are actually very, very different, by the way. I don't know where to start. This game's pretty good, okay? I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed it a lot, but it doesn't really feel like a Sakaguchi game at all. Lost Odyssey, on the other hand, yuppie, this game was absolutely brilliant, guys. You guys haven't played this, you really, really should. And this is... Last Story definitely feels like it was made by the people that made this game, you know? One of the most touching storylines ever, just brilliant RPG overall, seriously. So yeah, Mistwalker was pretty much in Microsoft's pocket for a while because those 2 games were published by Microsoft. Then Nintendo said, hey, you want to make something for us? And they made The Last Story. And Sakaguchi made this game apparently like it was his last. Which is pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. So, yeah. Anyway, story-wise, you play some dude named Zale who's a mercenary. You live in this world, typical RPG affair. There's magic and there's an empire. And, yeah, shit happens, there's a love interest, they fall in love, and, yeah, there's some betrayal in there. There's your typical stuff for RPGs, really. Now, overall the story's fantastic, okay? Naturally, this is Sakaguchi we're talking about here. But, this is kind of a problem I'm going to go into a bit later. It doesn't really, you don't really get that much of a chance to, well, I don't think I got much of a chance to sort of explore the world that much, and I just got a text message. And what I mean by that is, fuck it, I'll just bring it up now. This game was too damn short. This game was stupidly short. It took me just 20 hours, like, exactly 20 hours to beat. It was on that sort of, like, give or take section. But yeah, exactly 20 hours. I spent more time playing Pandora's Tower than I spent playing The Last Story. And I can't help but feel, wow, really? That was stupidly short. Because the game is kind of, the game has, like, I think sort of optional sections where you can go and do missions and that, and they're not like, you know, retextured or revamped sections that are kind of you know, just hauling in there just to up the content. No, these are actually really original sort of areas. Like there's a haunted house area, there's this organization filled with mystical cult people, and there's circles on the floor, and they're raising devils or some shit, I don't know. And yeah, they're all like voiced by the characters, and they all give their opinions on them, and yeah, they're properly thought out, and I think a lot of them are optional. Because the chapters, goes by a chapter basis, and the chapters are kind of all over the place. You know, you're in chapter 21 for a bit, then all of a sudden you're in chapter 30. And it's like, what? So I think most of the chapters are optional, yeah. So yeah, when you take that into account, that sort of like rich optional content, and the fact that there is online multiplayer in this game, yes, that is also incredibly mind-blowing. A Japanese RPG, for the Wii, no doubt, has online multiplayer, and the battle system is really built for it. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so considering that, there's a lot of content here, there really is, but the storyline, the main quest, it just does not last long enough, and I think the story got hindered by that in some way. There's actually something I really want to talk about, but it's kind of spoiler heavy regarding one of the characters. I might put a little rant on at the end of this, just to, I don't know. I'm probably going to be too lazy, but yeah, just overall, the story was amazing, but it just didn't last long enough. I feel like I could have gotten more out of it had they explained some things, or I spent more time in the world and shit, but what are you going to do? And this chair is really squeaky. Okay. It's annoying. You're right. Presentation-wise, very top-notch, of course. It's not really a Xenoblade Chronicles, sadly. The thing is, it looks fucking fantastic. It really does. Like, this is actually kind of a sensitive subject, I know, because I'm aware of that, like, article that recently came out that was written by that dick who was like, Xenoblade looks like shit, so it's not that good! Yeah, fuck him. But yeah, it was... So yeah, to sort of criticise a Wii game for its graphics, obviously it's a sensitive subject. Yeah, Xenoblade was one of the best looking games I've ever played, quite frankly. And this one kind of was... In some of the areas it did actually look like a proper HD game. It was mega detailed, and the art style was obviously, you know, way up there. It was so good. But you get the impression the Wii bit off more than it could chew. There are some, like, really epic moments where the space is really... You know, there's a lot going on, and the frame rate does take its toll quite a bit. During cutscenes as well, the frame rate's all over the place. So yeah, you just get the impression the Wii bit off more than it could chew, quite frankly. This doesn't really affect the graphical presentation at all. It's just something to notice, to be honest. And yeah, overall a good-looking game though. And of course the music. Nobuo Uematsu has done us proud once again. This is much better than Lost Odyssey was, and this was really good as well. So was this game, you know. Staring down eternity. Who remembers that song? That song was awesome. But yeah, this was definitely, I think anyway, Nobuo Uematsu's best work since he did a Final Fantasy game, quite frankly. It's really that good, seriously. So the music is so good. Better than Xenoblade in my honest opinion, but that's just me, so, okay. Right, the voice work's also good, but, it's also very varied in terms of, you know, the sort of English-speaking accent, so to speak. There's some Scottish people in here, lol, he's my favourite character for that. But yeah, there's some, like, Irish characters and, some, you know, mostly English, but yeah, they're good voices overall. Right, now, we'll talk about the gameplay. I honestly think that the last story could be considered Final Fantasy XIII done right, because the actual dungeons in the game are relatively linear. You know, you'll have they're not as linear as FF13, granted, but they're pretty fucking linear. You'll just go along and the characters will talk to each other, you'll just go through battle sequences, you know. It's a pretty linear affair. But the difference being is that you do get some time to unwind in like a sort of hub area, where there are loads of side quests and optional stuff. You can buy weapons and go to the arena to level up. Leveling up, actually, that's interesting, because to level up you have to find a red circle on the ground. And you have to do this technique that Zale, the main character, acquires early in the game called Gathering. And it's a really effective way of leveling up, I think. You know, it doesn't make leveling up boring in any way. It's quite good. But yeah, when you're in the dungeons, obviously you'll be doing a lot of combat, and the combat is undeniably, guys, one of the greatest battle systems I've ever played in a game. I mean, for starters, it's really well suited for multiplayer. You can tell that by playing it, which of course this game has multiplayer. I've not touched that, by the way, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. It just works really well and fluently, you know. Xenoblade had a good battle system, but in a way it wasn't really, I don't know, it didn't sort of pop out to me as being like revolutionary, amazing sort of thing, where this one does. It's just plain fucking fun, and I don't know how to say it, just watch some battle gameplay, seriously. It's really flashy, and like, whew, they're on about the swords and the magic and shit, and it's just really, really good, okay? I liked it. Yeah. What else? The game is pretty easy though, to be fair. I died very, you know, like, I didn't die a lot, yeah. That's what I meant to say. And what else? See, I know there'll be some stuff I want to say, but it's not coming to me. Yeah, battle system's good. That's all I gotta say. The battle system is really good. Now, like I said, the game is damn short, right? It's like, you just don't think of an RPG that you can beat in like 4 or 5 settings, you know, that's pretty criminal, and that's what I did. Probably because I was so hooked to it. And like I said, you know, there were just some bits of the story that I don't think got fleshed out enough. I feel like, you know, the things that happened towards the end of the game, I would have been much more affected by them had I spent some more time with the characters and in this world. It's a really rare instance of just the game is not, it's just not long enough, right? And that genuinely bugged me as a result. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. That's really the biggest problem I have with the game. It's too short. But still, at the same time, there's a lot of content, if that makes any sense. And yeah. It's pretty much all I got to say on it, guys. I do still highly recommend it, and quite frankly, it is still my favourite of the Operation Rainfall trilogy. It really left that big of an impression on me. And yeah, I've run out of things to say. Okay, so yeah, buy the game, guys. Buy all the Operation Rainfall games. This is probably going to be the last game I do on the Operation Rainfall games. Well, you never know. But yeah, in any case, see you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.